you know, the Egyptian pyramids at Giza, do they predate the pyramids that dot Egypt that we know for sure were built by Egyptians?
Well, what I believe that the Great Pyramids and the pyramids at Giza were the original models. And every pharaoh that came afterwards, in order to retell the story of his rightful place on earth, that he is the God-man, he is Ra become man. As you know, in Egyptian culture, the pharaoh
was a god,
the god king. He was direct descendant from the god Ra that brought forth life to all of humanity.
All right, we have to take a break. We'll be back with more from Gene in just a few minutes. All right, we are back, and my guest this evening is Gene Malkovich. Gene, I got to ask you a question.
Yes.
About my pronunciation. Am I saying your last name correctly?
That's pretty good. It's
How
Malkovich.
do you say it? Malkovich?
Malkovich, yeah.
Okay.
That's not an easy name to hang with.
All right, and now let me tell you this, and then we'll get back to Egypt. I was in a bar in Belgrade, and a flash message from Australia. Phil wants to know this. He says, regardless of when the Sphinx and pyramids were they built only with technology available at that point in history?
Okay, great question. Okay, this is going to the visionary thing. When I meditated, the vision that I got of how the pyramids were built was that the high priests had taken ribbons and wrapped it around the bricks, and then they played the sacred music, which made them go right into place. And this is very similar where Graham Hancock said the answer to the riddle of how the pyramid was built lies in Easter Island. And the Easter Island story has a very similar story, that the high priests that carved the Easter Island statues had played the sacred music, and the statues actually danced into position.
Well, that would not be out of step with Coral Castle.
Correct. It's not the technology. We keep thinking of things in Western terms and the technology and surroundings and environments that we have. Everything is computerized and this temperature and that temperature and all these sort of things. The technology that the ancients were using was very much different. Like in Atlantis, the technology that they had developed was based on light, whereas ours is based on electricity. And being that we are solid light, we are beings of light. Everything is a frequency of light. The Atlanteans were far more advanced than we were in their kind of physics, because they started off from a different spot than we did.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Caller, you're live on the Kevin Smith Show. Your first name and from where are you calling? Hello, caller. Caller is not available. All right, 1-800-289-1092. 1-800-289-1092. The telephone lines are open. Do you think that the pyramids, particularly the Great Pyramid, really plays, in reality, does it play an essential role in our Earth today?
Well, it gives us the timeline of the ascent of man. That's an important fact. It also, like I said, it also acts as a centering device for the energy around the Earth to make sure that it's tuned to the proper frequency so that we can exist and continue on. And that's been done on a permanent basis. The builders of the pyramid built that knowing that this is what needs to be done at that point in time to secure the fact that of our existence and our growth.
All right, let's try the phone line again. Caller, you are live on the Kevin Smith Show. Your first name and from where are you calling? Aha. We are having difficulties getting people to have the courage to speak. Is the toll-free number to call, and that will make it possible for you to make your comments or ask your questions of Gene, and I will say it with my Serbo-Texan accent, Malkovich.
I like that.
Serbo-Texan. Yeah.
I'll remember that one. That's a good one.
Caller, you're live on the Kevin Smith Show. Your first name and from where are you calling?
This is Ray in Dallas.
Yes, Ray.
Yes, I have a question for Gene.
Go ahead.
Do you think that there was any other apparatus inside of the pyramid that may have allowed it to function at the time when it was built? You know, other devices that are no longer there.
Right. Okay. The devices are still there. They're just, we have lost the knowledge on how to use them. One of the things that the pyramid was able to do was to act as an observatory so that we could observe stars in real time. That is not the time that it takes for the star's light to reach us, the light years that it takes to reach us, but you were able to use the pyramids, and again, by playing the high priest, by playing the sacred music, different tunes would create different functions in the pyramid, one of which is also the observatory, as well as an initiation into the higher order.
And do you think that the sarcophagus, the so-called sarcophagus, had anything to do with any of this?
Right. The sarcophagus does have something to do with that. That's where the initiate would lie in the sarcophagus. They would, the high priest would stand around, and they would chant and play the music, and the room would fill with light, and the individual would rise to the next state, the next level, the higher state.
Okay, well, thank you.
All right, Ray, thank you. Again, the telephone number 1-800-289-1092. That is toll-free throughout North America. So if you have a question or a comment, that's the number to call. Or if you're outside of North America, send me a flash message. Just send it to flash@kevinsmithshow.com. One of the things that is pretty interesting in some of the carvings that are, you can find them all over the internet now, but there's a carving from a temple. I forget where. It does. I know it starts with a D.
Okay.
But anyway, it shows what appears to be perhaps an electrical light. Do you think they had such technology?
Oh, yeah. I think that one is, I think you're mentioning something in the, again, it was found in the pyramids where they had that, where they made a light bulb.
Yeah.
And, so they were able to somehow, through some chemical bath and a cathode filament, able to light that. Yeah, I've seen that. And perhaps that was done by the workers and stuff like that. But then again, the main thing is it's not just the energy that we know of as electricity or nuclear physics as we understand it today. This is a whole other kind of energy, the kind of stuff that Tesla was working on, the kind of stuff that Ed Lee Scallion knew about. And,
but what you're saying is that they knew about it then.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And, I don't know if you've heard of this, there's a coal mine in California that they found something that looked like a battery, like a D-cell battery with a carbon rod surrounded by chemicals.
Yeah.
That they dated back to, it has to go back millions of years.
Yeah.
So I believe that, the Earth has gone through, we're the fifth race that we have developed and left remnants of our development over certain periods of time. The battery is one of them. The pictures are the other one. In South Africa, they discovered something that they think may have been a nuclear reactor in one of the diamond mines there.
Now that's interesting. All right, caller, let me ask you a question. We're about to go to break. Are you willing to hang on through the break?
Sure.
All right, hang on. You'll be on hold.